Okay, sir. Is it working, sir?
Bharat sir, you can unmute your mic. Bharat sir, can you speak?
Sir?
Bharat sir,
Sir,
yeah, sir.
I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, you can make a presentation also. I have enabled your presentation as
Okay,
a presenter. As a presenter, sir,
okay.
we can wait for a few minutes, sir.
Okay, sir.
2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Mr. Bharat sir, we can start the session, sir. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Ready
Yeah,
to
sir.
start.
Yeah, sir. Just a
Yeah,
minute, sir.
give me a minute, sir.
Ah.
I'm just sharing the screen.
Sir, just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Good evening, everyone. With the immense honor and delight, I take this opportunity to introduce our distinguished chief guest, Mr. M. Bharat, co-founder of DigiPlus Trichy. Sir, your remarkable journey as an entrepreneur and your invaluable contribution in the field of digital innovation truly make you a role model for aspiring professionals and academician alike. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm and wholehearted welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. M. Bharat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
for the introduction, sir. Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Is it visible?
Yeah, sir. Slide is visible.
Okay, sir. I will. Let me start the session. So, thank you for introducing me, sir. And a quick intro about myself and why I'm suited to take this session. So I'm the founder of DigiPlus. We are an IT company based out of Tamil Nadu in India. So I have about 20 plus years of experience in the IT industry, and I'm passionate about renewable energy as well as industry innovation. So in my career, I have worked in multiple countries. I have worked in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, as well as in Singapore. So I have first-hand experience about industrial innovation as well as how governments are fostering growth within those countries. And as an renewable energy advocate, I have supported several renewable energy projects over in my city, as well as I advocate for green energy, like that people should migrate to electrical cars and reduce pollution. So I have been a strong advocate of renewable energy, which is actually the SDG 7, as well as the industrial innovation, which is SDG 9. So let's just get into the topic. So a quick introduction about the SDGs. So the Sustainable Development Goals, these are defined by the United Nations. So the latest revision, it includes 17 global goals, and these are devised in 2015, and many countries have made progress towards achieving these 17 goals in the past 10 years, and the target is to achieve these goals by 2030. So so why do we call them as sustainable development goals? Is because development by itself, if it is not inclusive, then a majority of the population is left out. So development should be inclusive and sustainable. So sustainable development should include um, all types of people in achieving the in the fruits of the development. And so the SDGs are mainly addressing the ongoing global challenges such as poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, as well as peace and justice. So currently, the global landscape in the global landscape, we are facing challenges in all these uh, categories. So the poverty is rampant throughout the world, like in especially in developing countries, and in our neighborhood as well, like in India and the Southeast Asia. Sorry. Um, all our neighboring countries, everyone is having some sort of issues with peace as well as justice. So many of them are stemming from poverty as well as inequality. So which is evident from the ongoing struggles in Nepal, where the youngsters are protesting against the inequality between the political class and the middle or the poorer backgrounds. And we are also facing a wide range of challenges in with respect to climate change and environmental degradation. So we recently experienced multiple cloudbursts in India as well, and we have seen flooding in several states. So most of these um, problems are attributable to climate change, which is causing if it rains, the intensity of the rains are high, or if it is a if it is in summer, the temperature of the during summer is very high. We are experiencing heat waves, so we are facing both extremes. Like or if it rains, it's raining more. If it is a drought, it is more. It's causing a heat wave. So we are facing challenges in all these sectors. But we have the world as a whole has made incremental progress since these goals were defined in 2015. So we have made incremental progress, and we have achieved most of these goals. At least some, there is a 25% rate of achievement for these goals in many of the categories, especially with India and the SDG 7. We have achieved a lot, which we will talk more about in the upcoming slides. So a quick recap. So I believe with the sessions, the other sessions that are ongoing as part of this throughout this week, there are going to be other sessions on the other topics. So we'll just have a quick recap of the 17 goals. So the by 2030, the all the countries in the world are working together to achieve these 17 goals, which is to eliminate poverty, to eliminate hunger in the world, to uh, achieve certain standards on health and well-being, and to provide quality education to the younger generation, to achieve gender equality between with respect to gender equality. So the current and ongoing understanding is that the genders, it's not just defined to two specific genders, whereas it's a spectrum of genders, and we should seek to get inequality, gender inequality among all these genders. And next we have the next SDG 6 is about the achievements in the targets that needs to be met in clean water and sanitation, and 7 affordable and clean energy, which we will talk about more in more detail. And 8th one is to ensure that decent work is attainable, like certain standards of employment is achieved by the youth across the world, as well as in economic growth metrics. And again, 9 industry and innovation we will talk about in detail. So I'm skipping 7th and 9th SDGs. And the 10th SDG is about reducing inequalities. So it's not just about gender. When we talk about inequalities, it is also about how we will the wealth and the wealthy class as well, compared with the middle class or the poor class, as well as the able-bodied people versus the physically challenged people. So inequalities are it's a wider topic. So we should strive to reduce inequalities and try to achieve a equitable participation for everyone. And then the 11th SDG is how to make the cities and communities more sustainable with the help of green architecture. And there are several technologies that are being proposed for this sector. And then we also on SDG 12, it is about responsible consumption and production, which is which has a direct correlation to the current mindset of the fast economy, like the disposable, highly disposable clothing that is becoming more and more common, as well as the fast food and all the things that are that are accelerating in pace. So we should try to be more responsible in consuming the products, as well as in producing them. And 13th is the most it is something I find as more as a showstopper, which is climate action. So without climate action, so we are facing a certain a destructive future down the lane. So the time to stop climate change, it is already, we are nearing that. So 2029 or 30 has been set as the deadline for reducing the carbon emission of most of the countries. So we are falling very behind on climate action. So I think the other faculties will talk more about it. And 14th SDG is to, because we are, so the United Nations, they have brought in this topic mainly because the ocean has been neglected a lot. So it is theorized that we have explored the moon, as well as we have explored Mars, but we haven't properly explored the ocean. So the 14th SDG is to preserve the life below water. That is the preserve the ocean creatures. And as well as the 15th one is life on land, like the all the it's not just about humans, it's about all the creatures who have equal rights to the land on which we live. And the 16th SDG, peace, justice, and it's about the how countries should work peacefully with each other. And the 17th one is the partnerships for the world. Like all these other goals, they cannot work in a vacuum. Like all the goals, they are interconnected. So when we create clean energy, we it also has impact on all the other goals, like sustainable cities, as well as responsible production. So these sustainable development goals, they are interlinked. And the 17th goal, it is about how we can how all the goals can work together. So which is mainly why I'm also briefing about this all the 17 goals, rather than heading straight into the SDG 7 and 8. So we should understand the synergy between the all the SDGs, how one factor is affecting the all the others. So yeah, so why the SDGs are important is that they provide an universal framework for all the countries to work together towards developing the world for everyone. So these, like I said, SDGs are interconnected, and progress in one goal, it is supporting the progress in all the other sectors. And so the main themes are economic growth, social inclusion, as well as environmental protection. So I'll head into the SDG 7, which is affordable and clean energy. So talking about affordable and clean energy, so we have to define the, so I'm sure everyone would already know what are all the clean energy sources and what are the so it's theoretically we can call it as dirty energy, but let's just call it as a non-renewable energy for okay, let's just call it as non-renewable energy. So we will classify uh, renewable and non-renewable energy. So a renewable energy, by definition, it is something that is not going to be consumed fully. So whereas non-renewable energy such as coal or petrol for that sake. So both these all these energies are being extracted from the earth, like extracted from the under the earth, but these are not unlimited. These are limited forms, and it has taken millions of years for coal to form, and millions of years for the crude oil to form under the Earth's crust. So when we are extracting it from extracting all the carbon that has been stored under the earth for millions of years. So when we are releasing all this energy into the atmosphere, all this carbon from the from underground into the atmosphere, it is causing a huge spike in carbon dioxide contents in the atmosphere. So so we classify, we are, so that's how we are classifying the non-renewable and clean energy. So when we talk about clean energy, the current major forms of clean energy are solar, um, wind energy, and hydro energy, which is supplying the majority of the power throughout the world. And to an extent, nuclear energy is also classified as a clean energy. It is not a mainly it is not classified as non-renewable, mainly because it is there's an abundant supply of uranium, and it is not emitting carbon dioxide, or it is not emitting pollutants, but it is emitting uh, radioactive materials to an extent. But currently the methodologies to store the radioactive materials are well refined, and there has been no contamination or widespread issues from nuclear energy in the recent past. So, so nuclear energy is also contributing, and many of the countries are working towards increasing their nuclear energy output, and it's an upcoming form of energy, but it cannot be covered in the SDGs, because the scope of the current sustainable development goals are until 2030. But a very prospective energy form that we currently are experiencing is the nuclear fusion energy, where hydrogen is fused together to form helium, which produces energy in the process. And many of the countries are very aggressively competing against each other. So it's on the news like every other day, like that China has done some new reached a new benchmark, and France has reached a new benchmark. And we all should also be proud to that India is part of an international coalition along with France and several other countries that are working towards creating nuclear fusion energy, which is a proud a moment for us. So that's about the introduction to clean energy. And let's talk about the SDGs themselves. So SDG 7 is affordable and clean energy, and the SDG 7.1, which is this has about six sub points under it. So the first one is SDG 7.1. It is about universal access to modern energy. Like it is basically by 2030, the world countries should ensure that 100% of their population has access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy. So we should emphasize on the affordable, reliable parts here, because affordable meaning energy should not be very expensive. It should be affordable to even the poorer sections of the society. And so in India, we can say that we have some form of affordable energy, but it is not very reliable. Like in metro cities where we reside, it is very reliable. Like we don't get power cuts in the metro cities, but when we go to rural areas, there are still power cuts in multiple locations throughout the country. So the reliable power, the power hasn't reached some of the remote areas, like the mountain people living in the mountains, or people living near dense forests. They are still not getting access to proper electricity from the grid. But there has been improvements, like how we can get power to the mountain or forest is we so here the contributor is solar and wind power, like not the larger ones, not the larger windmills, larger 1,000 megawatt solar power stations, but smaller ones. These are called mini. They create a mini grid with these energy sources, like 2 kilo, like a 1 megawatt power station, or even even smaller one located where the consumers are located, rather than producing power. Like in the mountainous areas, the problem is to bring power from below the mountain to the top of the mountain. So in such scenarios, power is produced on the top of the mountain itself, like using smaller wind turbines, or smaller solar units. So that is how we can provide universal access to energy. And the current energy access globally, it is at 92% as of 2025. So when these SDGs were defined, it was at 8 54%, and there has been a significant progress globally during the past 10 years, which has improved the universal access to energy to 92%, and by 2013 we are all hopeful we will achieve 100% access. And SDG 7.2, it is about increasing the global percentage of renewable energy. So currently there are certain countries who are very successful in adopting renewable energy, like Germany and a few countries. They were recently on the news that they are almost 100% able to run the country using renewable energy, because they have large wind farms as well as large solar power plants throughout the country. So these are very good improvements, and even when it comes to India, we are on a very good state currently with respect to renewable energy. So India is one of the leaders in renewable energy globally. So we all should be very proud of that. And India as well as China, both are the most populous countries in the world. Like the two countries are having like more than a quarter of the global population currently. So these two countries are competing against each other to in renewable energy, which is China. Last week they covered a full mountain range with solar panels. So similarly, India is very rapidly rolling out solar power, and we had like in the last 10 years we had covered lots of canals with solar panel, where it also acts as a double purpose. It saves energy, as well as like it produces energy, as well as saves water from evaporating during daytime. So it's a multi-purpose, multi-advantage situation with these solar covered canals. And India, when it comes to India, we are the world's third largest energy consumer, and the for India, the electricity target that the government is targeting is to reduce the increase the non-fossil fuel, like increase the renewable clean energy fuels to 40%, and we have actually already achieved it in terms of the percentage. Let's take the next slide. Like, India aims to have 500 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030. So to enable this, India is already implementing several programs such as the National Solar Mission, and by providing rooftop consumers with solar subsidies, like they're providing almost 30% subsidy to when someone sets up solar power in their homes. And currently the government is offering net metering to residential customers, and for non-residential customers, they are paying it at a certain fixed slab. So net metering, it is a very welcome concept, where the power produced by the house, it is offset when the during night time, if we are using power from the electricity board, from the utility. It is actually tallied with the power that is produced. So the net metering concept, it actually reduces the solar reduces the power bill almost to zero. And banks are also supporting consumers in this regard, because at current market rates, the cost of solar installation, it comes to around 65,000 rupees per kilowatt. And people with the 5 kilowatt power station, most families can manage their own, can produce their own power. So whereas for commercial purpose as well, government is giving incentives for companies. If a company has a solar power plant, they can supply power to the grid in any part of the country, and then get power from the grid for their commercial factories. So it can also um, uh, be on par with net metering. And like I said, we are, so the SDG, the Indian government's target was to reach 40 percentage renewable energy by 2030. But as you can see on the graph on the right, we can see that we are already at 43 percentage renewable energy. And we saw on the last slide that the government is targeting 500 gigawatt by 2030. We are already at 190 gigawatt, which is a good improvement compared with 2014, where we had 81 gigawatt of renewable energy. So we are almost on track, but we should, there needs to be, the momentum needs to pick up a bit more to achieve the 500 gigawatt target by 2030. So, but considering the current pace of projects under development throughout the country, it is a very achievable target. So even the solar, the wind farm factories, they are, so some of the factories are located in my hometown, Trichy. So these factories are producing like 2 to 3 windmills every day. They are manufacturing all the components for 2 to 3 windmills in a day. So we are on a very fast track to achieve these targets. So all these plants that are being manufactured, they needs to go online and produce the power. So when we talk about clean energy, there is one major consideration we should also look into, which is the balancing the grid. Like, because solar power as well as wind power, they are not very uniform throughout the day or throughout the year. So at certain times of the year, wind is producing more power, and during rainy seasons, solar power, it is getting dropped in its efficiency. So there are all these factors that are causing concern. So the solution is to balance the grid by means of storing the excess energy that is produced during the peak hours, and then utilizing that power when the utilization is at peak. So the production peaks and the utilization peaks needs to be managed by storage of the power that is produced. So other countries, they have experimented a lot with this, especially Australia. They have this Elon Musk, he established a very large battery stored battery farm in Australia, which is helping to balance all these power production and consumption fluctuations. But India needs to go a long way in terms of the battery storage technologies. And India is also experimenting a lot on the hydrogen energy mission. So India has already announced the hydrogen energy mission, where they are the government is planning to convert the excess energy into hydrogen, for because once we convert it to hydrogen, it can be stored and consumed at any point of time in the future. So, and the several countries have now developed hydrogen based power turbines. So with all these technologies in place, we are very poised to achieve the 500 gigawatt target, and we all Indians should work towards it. And so this is about the clean energy installed capacity in the country. So we can clearly see that the solar power, which is the yellowish orange one, where during 2015 it was at 10% of the total renewable energy produced. With the current installed capacity as of 2024 March, we have already achieved 50, almost 57% of renewable energy produced is from the solar power. So solar power has the potential to offset everything. So, and okay, the next we talk about the SDG 7.3. So it is about improvement in energy efficiency. Like so, it has more to do with the, for a certain, let's say we are investing 1 crore of money in producing power. So with the 1 crore, how efficient are we producing the power? Because solar power has a certain efficiency rate, wind power has a certain efficiency rate. So for the money, money meaning for the investment, for the capital that we are providing, what is the highest energy efficiency that we are achieving? So we should not be spending on less efficient sources of energy. That is the target here. And solar power, it has this 24% efficiency. It is somewhat a new achievement from China actually. So the current market, the solar panels in the market, their efficiency is somewhere around 19 to 20%. So the latest panels, they have reached a 24% efficiency, but they are still not in mass production. So we should strive to improve the energy efficiency. So by 2030, the global energy efficiency should be doubled. That is the SDG 7.3. And so SDG 7.4, it is about promoting access to research, technology, and investments in clean energy. So on this front, we are in India, we already talked about the Indian solar mission and the government's initiative. So the target is to promote access to research and technology, as well as access to investments in clean energy. So apart from the larger projects, if we take a typical wind farm, the wind farms themselves, each windmill, it is being owned by individual entrepreneurs. So these individuals, so for larger solar farms or larger wind farms, banks are already providing investments to the large companies like currently even Reliance, Adani Power, and all these huge companies. They are establishing large solar power projects as well as wind power projects all over the country. And apart from the larger installations, so especially in Tamil Nadu, in certain places in Tamil Nadu where wind power is abundant, lots of individuals have invested. Like the approximate cost of a 1 megawatt wind turbine, it is around 1 crore rupees. So 1 crore is somewhat an achievable money to entrepreneurs who are already in some other business. So many of the businesses in Tamil Nadu, they have set up their own windmills in the districts where there is abundant wind power. And the government is facilitating the investment for that windmill through bank loans. So even for solar power, even for rooftop solar power, banks are very approachable, very friendly, and they are providing access to the funds for solar power installations. And governments should also promote investment in research, like especially in academic circles as well as industrial circles. Access to research should be facilitated by the government. Like whenever there is a new development that has happened, that technology should be brought into the country, and we should be able to build on top of it. So then we talk about so this is more about inclusive growth in the energy sector. So especially when we talk about the African countries who are very least developed, and as well as developing countries, including India. So the SDG 7.5, it advocates the developed countries as well as the World Bank and all the IMF and all the global institutions to support the developing countries in setting up all these energy infrastructures. Okay. So we have covered all the 5 targets under SDG 7, which is the clean energy, affordable and clean energy SDG. Then we move on to SDG 9, which is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So SDG 9.1, it is about developing sustainable, resilient, and inclusive infrastructures. So when it comes to inclusive infrastructure, so think of it in this way: like we want to develop our cities, but during the development, we should also ensure that the marginalized communities, they are also factored into the equation. So we should, while building highways throughout the country, or overpasses or tunnels throughout the cities, we should also invest a significant portion of the money in developing affordable housing, like all the housing boards that each of the states are running. So the infrastructures should also focus on economic development of the marginalized, as well as it should support the well-being of humans, and the investments, the developing the infrastructures should provide equitable access to all. Equitable meaning it is not just for the privileged classes, it is also for the middle class as well as the poorer sections of the society. So everyone should get um, a fair access to the infrastructure that is being developed in the country. And SDG 9.2, it is about promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization. So as even the icon indicates, so inclusive meaning men, women, and all the gender spectrums, as well as the physically challenged and the marginalized sections of the society. So when we talk about promoting um, uh, inclusive and sustainable industrialization, the state of Tamil Nadu has done achieved certain uh, benchmarks, such as when it comes to employing women. So Tamil Nadu, uh, in the total share of the all the women employed in the country, Tamil Nadu has the largest share of uh, women who are employed in the workforce. So it is an inclusive development, whereas wherein women are also part of the equation, so they are also able to improve their livelihood by being part of the industrialization. So women as well as the even when we talk about the factories, we should provide employment across the spectrum, not just to the certain classes. So with this, so this SDG, it is proposing to double the rate of employment throughout the country and reduce unemployment and increasing employment while being inclusive and sustainable. So again, this sustainable industrialization, it also has a certain it also deals with when we are when we cannot destroy a large forest to mine natural ores. So these are, but we cannot completely avoid it, but we should strive to minimize the impact and make the whole industrialization to be sustainable. So even China, being the world's number one producer of rare earth metals, they are able to supply the whole world with rare earth materials like the magnets that are being used in the neodymium magnets and all the things that are being used in electric vehicles. China is able to supply them, but the impact on the cities where or impact on the districts where China is extracting these minerals, it is very considerable. So lots of people are being affected by this large scale mining projects, but it cannot be avoided because it comes at a cost. If we want to stop the mining, then the technologies and the society cannot improve, but we should strive to make it as sustainable as possible. And even when we talk about India in terms of the sustainable industrialization and development, uh, most of the states now have a guideline which states that when you cut down a number of trees to any roads or for any projects, you have to plant 5 times more number of trees and maintain them for several years until they grow up. So it's a very so this kind of initiative um, shifts the responsibility of ensuring a sustainable sustainable development on the people who on the companies that are involved in destroying. So it's not a negative word to talk about destroying a road, or because if we want to build a new airport, we have to level the airport. But whatever we have destroyed, we have to compensate for it. So that's what we call as a net zero. So world governments are trying to achieve net zero by uh, 2040, but we should strive to achieve net zero by 2030. So net zero is basically we should um, the carbon, the greenhouse gases that we emit should be uh, brought back to the 18th century levels, and the whatever we are outputting should be compensated. So we should strive for it, and even as individuals we can do a lot on this front. Like for example, I drive an electric car. It is more expensive to purchase and maintain, but it is one of the things that we should, as an individuals, also contribute to the society. Okay, and so again, SDG 9.3, it is about increasing access to financial services and markets. So like lots of these small scale, so even if we take India, SMEs employ the majority of the population. Like the government jobs, they are a very small percentage, and and all this, the large private companies, they when we take the whole 140 plus crores of population of India, even the private companies employment, the large MNCs, they don't employ a lot. But the actual India, it is being driven by SMEs, your neighborhood stores and all the small shops all over the cities. They are powering the whole of India. These MSMEs, as we call them, or small scale industries and enterprises. So we should the SDG 9.3, it advocates providing access to financial services to all these small scale industrial enterprises. So financial services, meaning banks should be more open to providing loans, because most of the SMEs, they when they start off, they need significant capital to get into the business. So that yeah, getting the access to increasing the access to these financial services becomes very crucial for them. And so then we talk about SDG 9.4. It is uh, so we have industries and factories all over the world and all over India. So how we are going to upgrade these industries to be more sustainable? So that is the target that SDG 9.4 we should upgrade the existing industries in terms of it is already visible in the country. Like many of the large industries, they have already adopted to install solar panels all over their roofs. So they are producing as much power as possible. It also makes economic sense for the companies to adopt clean energy, because the cost per unit of uh, clean energy is very cheaper compared to the cost per unit that is extracted from non-renewable energy sources. And So with in addition to being producing power from clean energy, the infrastructures and the industries should be more sustainable in terms of the output, like all the pollutants or all the things that go out of the factories, the effluents, it also needs to be treated. So Indian government has taken several steps. The pollution control board of the states, as well as the central the national green tribunal, and all the entities, they have given very strict measures for factories to reduce their um, uh, effluents and the pollutants, that pollution that they cause. So the government has taken several steps, but many of them are lacking in terms of enforcement, because industries, they also need some support from the financial institutions to implement all these uh, infrastructure and industrial sustainability upgrades. So in that, on that front, so again, it's not only about our government supporting our industries, it is also about the developed countries supporting the developing countries to upgrade their factories. Because when we talk about climate change, even if a factory in India is causing more carbon dioxide emission, it is not only going to affect India, it is going to affect the whole world. And the one another important factor here is the developed countries themselves. They are the major contributors to the climate change that we are currently facing. So all these developed countries, during the course of their development in the last 100 or 150 years, they have emitted so much greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. So the developed countries have emitted so much, and they are um, let's say 70-80 percentage responsible for the current situation the whole world is in. So it is also the responsibility of the developed countries to contribute fairly towards improving the industrial and infrastructures in developing countries. And SDG 9.5, it talks about the objective is to, again, similar to how we saw in SDG 7.4, it is to enhance research and upgrade industrial technologies. So it is about increasing the number of research and development workers, like companies, academic as well as industrial enterprises should increase the number of research and develop people involved in R&D should be increased throughout the world, so that not only in public but also in private research and development, more investment into more investment into the R&D activities will increase the number of people who are involved, and it will help us to reach the SDG 9.5 targets. And so I mentioned about this earlier, like facilitate 9.6 is about facilitating infrastructure development for developing countries. Um, like I said, developed countries are mainly responsible for the current global, many of the global issues, and so it is the responsibility of the developed countries to ensure that the developing countries are equitably treated and compensated to achieve these development goals. So how they can do that is through enhanced financial, technological, and technical support to the developing countries, underdeveloped countries, and the smaller islands. And so SDG 9.7, it is about every country should strive to improve its domestic technology development and its industrial diversification. So, for example, when we talk about industrial diversification, a good example would be the Middle Eastern countries. So, in the Middle East, the major industry, it is petrol and gas industry. So the petrol and gas industry is so much concentrated in the Middle East countries that the other industries are not sufficiently developed. So it is a very challenge for those countries, especially because going towards net zero and going towards reducing the non-renewable energy usage in terms of petrol and diesel. So the oil and gas industry, it is already on a vast decline in the last 5 years. So this decline is not going to improve anytime soon. It is actually going to go lower and lower. The usage of non-renewable energy, it is going to get lower. And these countries, if they do not diversify their industries, they will be in a huge problem down the line. Like in, let's say, 5 years, if even India reduces its dependence on oil and gas, it will be a huge trouble for these countries. So, the SDG 9.7, it proposes to diversify industrialization as well as support domestic technology development, like not just import technologies from, let's say, China or other countries. India should also strive to do things within the country. Like that's where we have the Make in India and Startup India initiatives, where the government is investing a lot of money, and the government is also giving support to the domestic industries in terms of credit support, and government itself is guaranteeing the loans, so banks to the banks, so that the smaller industries can also prosper. So, and we also have these Startup India initiatives. So the startup industry, so we are proud to have India is one of the I believe it is India is the third largest startup. India has the third largest number of unicorns. Unicorn meaning a billion dollar startups. The number, in terms of number of startups, India is in position number 3 globally. So we are on a very strong path here in terms of startup initiatives. But the startup funds, it needs to flow more fluidly. Like currently the funding allocated by the governments for startup initiatives are very marginal. For example, in Tamil Nadu, the startup TN, they are only allocating like 50 crores in 6 months. So which is very small compared to other countries, like the developed countries. They are in terms of crores, they are easily allocating thousands of or lakhs of crores to support their industries. So India should also strive to do more on the startup front. But we are on a we have started well. We need to take it to the higher levels. And the last SDG 9.8, it is about the access to information and communication technology. Sorry. for everyone. It is about universal access to information and communication technology. So I have a good example here in Tamil Nadu. The government started to provide free TVs to the poor households in 2006, and it actually contributed to a very good rate of knowledge. In terms of knowledge, people were able to get access to the global world, like not only with the newspaper. When they were given access to the television, the national as well as international news on the TV, so it has actually contributed a lot to the development of the poor sections of the society. So similarly, like SDG 9.8, it advocates that affordable access to be provided, access to the internet should be provided to everyone in the world. So by 2020, it has been proposed to do some basic access by 2020, but by 2030 we should provide a. So basically, world governments are, even United Nations is now proposing to have access to internet as a basic human right. Like the basic rights are access to food, water, and a place to stay. Similar to the bare necessity rights of humans, United Nations is also proposing to have right to internet access as a basic necessity, because access to the internet, if the internet is used properly, it can do wonders for the society. So the access to information and communication technology has to be universal by 2030, which is the SDG 9.8. And with respect to all this, we talked about infrastructure and industry. So Government of India launched its Smart Cities mission in 2015 to develop 100 people-friendly, sustainable smart cities across India. So the focus of these projects is to improve the quality of life for the people living in the cities through better sorry, through better infrastructure, better technology, and proper urban planning, as well as by using these uh, smart services, like smart services, as well as technologies like IoT and ICT. And even Indian Railways has taken a broader initiative on this front. So Indian Railways is undertaking the world's largest railway electrification program, and the Indian Railways is targeting to go um, net zero carbon emissions by 2030. So the railways is estimating that by 2030 the railways will need about 8,200 megawatt of power, and they are expecting to get 30,000 megawatt of power operational by 2030. And the progress has been a bit slow, but they have already achieved 147 megawatt of their own solar and wind power generations, and they have tied up with other renewable energy providers to procure 2000 megawatt of power currently. So they are trying to achieve their targets. And which brings us to the end of the session. So to summarize, we talked about the SDG 7 on affordable and clean energy, and SDG 9 on industries and innovation in infrastructure. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can ask me, or I have my a number here. I'm also on LinkedIn, so just put my name, Bharat Manoharan. You can find me on LinkedIn, or you can WhatsApp me on this number if you have any questions, or if you want to um, uh, need my any inputs. I'm happy to share.
Uh, Bharat sir, wait sir, I
Yes.
will enable all the mic for
Okay.
participants. Just a
Okay.
minute. Participant, you can unmute your mic and then you can ask question or you can put in chat box. Uh, Participant, you can unmute your mic, you can speak or you can ask question or otherwise you can put in chat box any questions.
Thank you.
Participants, any questions are there? Thank you, Bharat sir. Sir, thank you. Sir, are you audible? Whether you're hearing my voice,
Yes, sir.
Bharat sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, okay. Thank you, sir. On behalf of K. Ramakrishna College of Engineering, Department of Artificial and Data Science, I extend my heartfelt thanks to you, sir, for gracing us with your valuable time and inspiring words. Your insights and guidance have truly enriched this session, and we are deeply grateful for your presence with us today, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity to address so many people from academic uh, side. I'm very delighted that I could do this.
Bharat sir, this is Karthik sir. Thank you very much for your valuable time, sir.
Oh, thank you, Karthik sir.
You, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Sir, you can leave, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Arun Devan, sir. Sir, are you there?
Sir, Faisal sir.
Sir. Sir,
Sir, we will have a break.
Next session is going to start, sir. Chief guest has been arrived, sir.
Okay.
Sir, chief guest is an online, sir. Arun Devan, sir, are you there? I have unmuted your
yes,
mic, sir.
uh, yes, Mr. Faisal. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, we can wait for a few minutes, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I
Uh,
can wait. Yeah.
Sir, Kiran Bala, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, we can wait for 5 minutes. We have a break and then we can start a session, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the time is 7:25. We can start 7:30 sharply, sir. Participant, you can take a break for 5 minutes. After 7:30, we will sharply start our next session, sir. Arunmoli Devan, sir, we can start our session, sir. Sir, whether you are able to present your slides, sir. Sir, are you able to hear, sir?
Uh, uh, yes, sir. I'm able to hear you. Am I clear, right?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. Can we proceed the meeting?
Yeah, yeah, sir, you can start your slides and you can introduce.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. Okay.
Okay, okay, fine, sir.
Oh, hi all. Very good afternoon. Um, Hi everyone. Am I loud and clear?
Yeah, sir,
Okay.
it's audible, sir.
Okay. We'll go ahead with the topic. And just a general introduction about myself. My name is Arunmoli Devan. I'm working in as a senior engineer in Digitite Solutions Private Limited, Bangalore. And it's a AI-driven company. Mainly, I work on the cybersecurity side of it. And I have previous work experience as a consultant in central government and state government projects. And I have worked for various projects implemented by government sector and also through private sectors. So major part of my contribution was in the as a consultant in the Karnataka Pollution Control Board, where I was taking care of economical statistics and this kind of new projects implementation according to some various UN nations projects and WHO recommendations. We're implementing on that. So I hope we will be discussing today this decent work and economical growth, which was recently discussed in the United Nations SDG, okay, 8. So we will just discuss on the basic challenges what we have, the implementation, what is the project all about, and what it is the what is the countries who are taking actively participating in that and how they are going to take it forward. Okay, so just for data convenience and other things, I'm disabling my camera. And is it a fine with you guys, right?
Yeah, sir, yeah, sir. You can continue, sir.
So after a small introduction briefing of the topic, let me go ahead and share my slides, which I have. Okay, I hope the permissions has been enabled for my end to share the presentation, I believe. So is the permissions enabled for me to present a document?
Sir, yes, sir, we are enable your
Okay.
presentation, sir. You can present, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. And so that's all a short introduction about me. So the last 15 years, I have been working in Bangalore. And so all the projects in various projects like solid waste development, starting from solid waste to solar development, sustainable cities, and other air quality projects. So I have been implemented across the states of Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Kerala. So a lot of countries, a lot of states have been deployed on the central government projects, and it's mainly of stats collecting the statistical report and how we can implement the recommendations of WHO and United Nations. So that is something which I have actively worked, and that's where I have been pulled up for a discussion here. So let me share my knowledge and thoughts, whatever I have collected, and I will share it to you guys. And if you have any questions, you can get back to me in the upcoming call, in the end of the session. Okay, we will have a time for that. Okay, yeah, and so give me a second. Let me pull my document on here. I hope my screen is visible. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So starting with the basic introduction part of what it is a sustainable development goal is. Okay. The sustainable development goal was established by the United Nations in the year 2015. And the main goal explicitly calls for promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth. So, what does it mean is that so sustainability. So, how independent we are going to be in the global aspects, okay, and what are the new changes we are going to face? What are the new challenges the human mankind has to face in the upcoming years? And what all the impacts or climatical changes and disasters, whatever we have overcome in the recent past 10 decades. So if you take on an average, so there was a very there was a massive impact of climatical changes and other factors like COVID and other things hitting in our decade. So in the last decade, it was a very important to make a few changes on this sustainable development goal from United Nations. So it mainly highlights the advancement of society and the balance of the decent work and will contribute more to the economical growth. Okay. So India, as of now, we are growing at a rate of 7.5 in GDP, and we are trying to push it to 9 to 10 statistically in future, in near future, like into 2030, we are trying to push our levels also. And here, when it comes to that inclusiveness, it's something like how everybody is going to contribute for the economic growth for the nation, and uh, without any diversity, like there can be some factors like affecting like in some areas where gender inequality is there, and some kind of specific proper employees are not placed at a proper wages. So these kind of things will be overcome. Okay. So normally in the inclusive sector, it is something like we have to include everybody equally and in a longer run, and they are more productive to and contributing to the growth of India. Not only growth of India, as of the part of a global, as a part of global sustainability. Okay. And here, and the most vital projects are, okay, I like to discuss here, okay, what are the recent changes what we made brought here in our uh, growth, economical growth, as well as what is the contribution initiatives we have taken for decent work worldwide. So we will be discussing on all those part, okay, and if you so this PPT I will be sharing it to you guys. So you can just go through it, and mainly I will be rushing on the parts of the major aspects of the topics which were discussed in SDG 8. Okay, so this economic growth, it not only focuses on GDP. Okay, it is a kind of creating opportunity to uplift communities. Okay, so all inclusive of all people, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their communities, or irrespective of their other aspects, social problems and other things. Okay, so and also to overcome the rapid technological changes, global uncertainty and widening inequality. See, rapid technological changes is that you guys would be aware that there is a lot of AI improvements are coming into market, and AI is going to occupy almost 40 to 60% of the human work, what it is going to be, and that is what going to be in the next in next 5 to 10 years. So even though AI cannot completely replace the work of a human, but here we have to overcome the new spaces of work where the human has to be deployed, has to be identified by the government, and they are working on that goals. Okay, so this SDG 8 was a part of identifying the sector, identifying this, and we have identifying these key areas where we can improve the our humankind, okay, to scope of the technologies. So it is not that everybody is going to lose job. We will be given an alternative job. Okay, right now, if a person is sitting and getting a work from 5 to 6 people, tomorrow he will be sitting and getting work from 20 machines. That's all it is going to be. But all the work will not be completely given to AI or any kind of automation also. Okay, so that is there. And when it comes to decent work, all that was mainly matters is that the safety in the work environment. Okay, that is a main principle, and their security, how secure they feel in a work environment. That is something the United Nations have been proposed, and they were looking for it. And also the fair pay for all the employees, irrespective of the gender and other aspects. And mostly we have something like called child labor kind of issues and other things, where age related issues and these things and all is there in some of the developing kind of countries. So the UN nation is trying to eradicate it. Okay, so in the global market, India plays a vital role in the place of GDP, and here in India, almost 62% of which contributes to total GDP is of service sector. Service sector means the projects, IT companies, and other projects, what we do for other countries. So India is mostly dependent on their servicing part of it. Okay, and there is a threat that a service related environment will be occupied by AI in the upcoming future. Okay, so that is something we are trying to look it up, and we are trying to work in that niche segment. So where how to create new opportunities for our huge employment. And as you guys know, India is one of the youngest country in the world. Okay, when I say youngest country, it is like almost 60 to 70% of the population or at between the age group of 32 to 40. Okay, so that means this skills, a lot of upskilling has to be done. Okay, some of the age group sectors are in that age group sectors, some of them are well qualified and some of them are non-qualified. So in this decent work category, what we are focusing is that we are trying to make something like equal job and equal work for all. And this equal work, what it is happening is that uh, irrespective of their education, irrespective of their other skills, we are trying to make them upskill and improve in the sector. So by increasing the ability of individual skills, there can be a large variation in the growth of the economy as well. So that's what we believe, and that's what it was proposed in SDG 8. And also, a lot of labor laws are in place, but UN nations have found that it was not fully implemented. Okay, in some places, including India and other places like Philippines and in the global market, especially the south part of a global market where the developing nations are more. Here, what happens is the the labor rights and acts are not followed. Okay, uh, the people should not work more than 8 hours. It's a general theory, but some of them nowadays are being extracted work for more than 14 hours. So that has been reported by the to the government, and they are trying to take stringent actions against the companies. So whether this is even though it is contributing this even though this will affect some of the contribution to the economical growth, but we want some fair labor rights and fair things to be implemented in the work of decent work. Okay, when it comes to decent work. So that is the thing. And a lot of missionaries are going to get replaced in most of the sectors. So manual work will be reduced a lot, and a lot of automations will be in place. Okay, and there are a lot of countries who have automatically implemented a lot of things. Okay, for decent work category. So and those countries which are less in population have implemented a lot of automated work. For example, Japan. Japan, most of the things they have automated, okay, with the AI and robots. So why? Because the population is very less and they have to meet their requirement. So that is one of the key factor. And other countries are also following the same thing, same aspects, like Finland and other global countries have been European countries, some of them, or taking some of the case studies are from Japan and Singapore and these things, and they are trying to implement few things. Okay, so this and their decent work also means that the salary or what they are paid is equal to the somewhat matching to the overall market of India. Okay, not only in India, global markets as well. Okay, so earlier we used to travel abroad for some work or anything, but even nowadays they brought something where you can sit from India and do a work in US. Okay, so because of that, the lot of money the company could save, and also majorly it will contribute a lot to their economical growth as well. Okay, so that is something. Since they are working from home, they cannot pay less. They are trying to compensate and trying to give equal opportunity for everyone. Okay, and so that is one thing. And one second. Yeah, and this key aspects of decent worker. This was something which I was talking a little bit earlier. Okay, so just a point wise, I will give some examples on these things. Okay, and full and productive employment, that creating enough high quality jobs that provide a fair income and opportunities for personal development and social integration. Okay, so somebody should not be left out. That is something in the society. Okay, so the growth should be equal in most of the scenarios. Okay, and why that is because this growth, what happens is if the growth should be equal in all sectors. That means, okay, it should not be the only service related or uh, uh, growth. Should not depend upon one sector alone. Okay, so as of now in India, I think industries or too much of industries they are promoting right now, manufacturing units, and they have increased it to somewhere around 27% in the last 5 years, and especially after Corona. And from 2018, they started it, some kind of initiatives. And due to Corona, there was a break in the middle. And now they have started again with a lot of new investments and new projects and new plays for growth and other things they have been developing right now, the central government. And I will discuss about the plans also in the going forward slides. Okay, and fair income and social protection. Okay, so the ensuring that workers employees are fairly paid. Okay, that is one thing. And the security in a job. Okay, a person if he is working in a company is thinking that he might be terminated whenever he wants. Okay, so this is something like he is this is something like what happens is this fair he will be stressed out. Okay, in case if he's not having a stability or security in his job, it will be like a lot of stability, insecurity, and because of that, some stress related stability, instability will be there, and that will not be a healthy environment. Okay, and so that is something the companies are getting into it. Right now, I think TCS, you are aware that it had declared recently it might lose send off some 5,000 employees, cut short some 5,000 employees. Okay, and on an average, they take somewhere around 12,000 to 20,000 people every year. But right now, it has been reduced to 6,000 to 8,000. Okay, and only in the top skilled colleges from the top skilled peoples are getting placed. Okay, so there is a new business or getting into the place. Okay, like not only AI, in other aspects also, new projects and new kind of softwares, new kind of earlier, if we want to code something, it will take like 1 to 3 months of project for code, complete the coding and getting it on successfully tested and getting it on board. But now it is done in just 5 days of time. Okay, so you can see how much time we are able to save. And even though this time is reduced, but there is an opportunity for a huge number of programs has to be built, and everything all at once cannot be replaced by AI. And so it is not going to happen also, even if it is takes 25 years or 50 years, because through my opinion, some human should be there to validate a particular software and other things. Okay, so even in your house, you can see a lot of automations would have been introduced. Okay, so this is something like related to that employment. Okay, so earlier we were having like a lot of in a company we were having like power men and other people who will be taking care of the electrical circuits and other things. Nowadays it is all automated in factories and big industries. Okay, automatically whether the person is there or not, automatically it checks, and all the powers are shut down by 6 o'clock. Okay, and if you take in China, there was one interesting thing which I came across. Where the entire company is run by some 200 robots. Okay, and that 200 robots completely work in a dark, and that they don't need any power light or anything to work. So they were able to save some 60% of the uh, cost of it. Okay, in the product. In the meanwhile, they were able to maintain some 60% of it. Okay, and that is something is there. And moreover, the point is this automation and these things I will discuss with you again in some other aspect in some other context we will be discussing it. So now yeah, that fair income and social protection, that is something the benefit of safety and for healthy workplaces. Okay, and eradication of forced and child labor. Okay, in India, it has been eradicated mostly. Okay, almost 90%. If you ask me, I will say. But in some places, where there is some areas, still that is not uh, given widely. Okay, like something like in some places still it is there. Okay, and not only in India, in some places of Africa and Philippines and all the other places. Okay, and geologically also we have a lot of variations. Okay, in India below 18 years a person should not work, but in other countries the standards are changed. Like for example, earlier in Russia, below 25 years they cannot work. Okay, so this kind of different aspects are there. Okay, in I think in Philippines or Indonesia, I think below 15 years, they should not work. So that it changes according to the uh, countries, but UN nations has been trying to bring some uniformity in this kind of eradication of forced and child labors, and this kind of upskilling. They're trying to promote upskilling. Okay, because if a kid is used for a labor work at an young age, tomorrow he may not spend time later on for upskilling or studying or getting a graduation or these things. Okay, so they are trying to come out of this. Even though some countries are following it, it will not bring them a sustainability in a longer run. Okay, so that is something which they are thinking on it. Okay, and freedom and equality. Yeah. So in a workplace, it is not like earlier. It was like a mission kind of work. Okay. Now we are introducing a lot of new ideas, and even the organizations and industries and corporate, they are taking the lot of ideas from the workers. Okay, and which helps them to promote the automation and other things, and so equality in the work environment is maintained. Okay, if you see earlier, there will be a lot of designations. Okay, starting from a general manager to a lot of managers will be there, but hierarchy will be more. But here, what they in most of the companies nowadays, in IT companies in particular, they just give them. They have removed a lot of positions in between. Okay, one head of the company, and rest all will be like senior sector and one junior sector. So, and that's all it ends up. Okay. And first 6 months when they join, it will be like a probation kind of period. So once they complete it, they will be given a kind of opportunity, and that equal designation kind of category will be created, even though they will be reporting to one person like TL or manager reporting manager, but they will be just to watch their attendance or something like that, some key areas, but mostly they have a freedom to work. Okay, so even a junior person can bring up an idea and give it to top management. Okay, so this kind of things are there. Okay, and here one more issue is that yeah, sustainable economic growth. Yeah, we have already spoken, and it is something like promoting economic growth that is environmentally sustainable, inclusive, and benefits for all members of the society. Okay, irrespective of their culture and other things. So these are some of the sub goals I will tell you. Okay, goals and targets, what and all have been discussed in the UN nations. Okay, so this we will be discussing it a little right at this point. Okay, so why this decent work and economic growth is important is that see the decent work and economic growth or have some symbiotic connections. Okay, so the economic growth will be increased by decent work. Okay, bringing some uniformity in the work environment, bringing some uniformity, equality, and a fair employment. It used to promote a lot of healthy working environment. So that automatically urges economic growth, and in vice versa, the economic growth will be giving lot of connections, a lot of aspects, like it will bring a lot of uh, this will bring a lot of a kind of investments and investments in new sectors. It will promote and create a lot of new opportunities. Okay, so new employment opportunity and new employment growth will be increased. Okay, and that is something which they and so that is something that is why the interconnection of that decent work and economic growth was discussed in that SDG 8. Okay, so addressing to the youth employment, we are the youngest country in the world, and so the work has to be it is not like a person is getting trained and giving it, but we have promoted especially in India, skill India development and skill India movement, and a lot of national skill India movement and other things are there where they are contributing a lot in upskilling the rural areas as well as the urban employees. Okay, so every student equally they want to promote, okay, and give them an opportunity. Okay, so even if you see a lot of malls and other textile showrooms and other things, a lot of more than the NSDC, okay, the National Skills Development Council has identified somewhere around plenty of sectors, okay, in our society, in India especially, and they have given a list to go through uh, upskill certificates through some other skill development program as well. Okay, like uh, PMKY, this Pradhan Mantri Kaushalya Vikas Yojana, and DDGKY program. DDGKY is something like Din Dayal Upadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana, that is for rural development. Okay, so the WHO, as well as according to the World United Nations organizations recommendations, India is investing a large amount in skilling. Okay, skills India and these kind of movements. So that's where the youth are identified in even in a village. If you see, and in naturals, especially naturals or some of the corporates, if you can see that DDGKY program and you can see that skill logos. Okay, so everybody has been given an opportunity. Okay, the government is taking some kind of a burden to train them, okay, and get them work done. And in return, yeah, that will contribute to the growth of the uh, country. Okay, so and economic empowerment. Okay, so as I said, decent work provides the stability and income needed for the individuals to invest in themselves and also to start a new business, to become an entrepreneurs. So in India, they are trying to they are trying to bring up a lot of startups companies. Okay, so that is something which is there, and they are trying to bring up a lot of. They have taken a lot of initiatives in bringing up investments from the foreign countries as well as the Indian entities. Like, and in India, it has been reported recently to the World Bank in one of the reports saying that in India, a person to start a business, it just takes 29 days. Okay, with this new GST and all this new criteria. So in just if you want to start a business in India, you can just start it in just 29 days of time. Okay, so that is something. And more than that, this aspect is there. And apart from this and other various places like even the skill development program I was talking about, right? If a person like for example, I know a scheme. Okay, it was run by Canara Bank. Okay, so the Canara Bank is running a skill development program here in Bangalore. So what they do is that in a rural, if they find women entrepreneurs. So women entrepreneurs, when I say who will be for example, a lady who is not having a breadwinner in her family. So, for example, she might be a widow or somebody. So they just train them on some skills, like a small tailoring shop or something. They will train them. So they will teach them how to stitch cloths, stitch other things to a skill level, and they will provide them training. And for 6 to 9 months, they provide them training for this tailoring and other things. And what they do in return is that they will give one individual equipments and some place of shops to set up, okay, through the government scheme. So what the lady has to do is that she just have to, she can set up a shop anywhere she want within that district, and she can, or within the state, wherever she want, and she can move it. She can earn and she can return back that money. Okay. After she is becoming an entrepreneur. Okay. So if she wants any additional uh, loans or some kind of aspects to enhance the project, even that will be provided. Okay, as a and the central government backs that. Okay, and I think Kudumbashri projects and a lot of our, even in Tamil Nadu there are some projects like that. Okay, uh, so a lot of women empowerment projects and other things are been there. Mainly, all this contributes indirectly to the economic growth of the country. Okay, economic growth of the state as well as the economic state of growth of the country. Okay, and environmental sustainability. Okay, so here is where we are moving more into greener environment. Okay, so how this is integrated is that okay, so since we are shifting to a lot of green environment like automobile industries and even in building and uh, construction like civil engineering and a lot of places they have reduced the silicon like even the electronic dumps and electronic waste what they call. So they are trying to reduce all the things and they are trying to recycle. Okay, and to safeguard the environment because as I said, in the last 10 years, the I think the Paris and other things was there, where during that environment, I think Vignesh, you have any question? Hello. Okay. Uh, this environmental sustainability. Okay, so this is something focusing on this, how greener we are going to leave this environment. Okay, to the next set of generations. So that is what it's going to be upcoming. Okay, and yeah, going to the next slide. And this is the targets and measures which was initiated in the SDG 8, and this is something like a uh, what aspects has been discussed, and it is how this global market is going to get connected. Okay, how the uniformity is going to get maintained, and they have some outlook vision for 2030 and how they are going to work on it. Okay, so this is also is a bringing up, and most of the points I have discussed, and I will be discussing it again also. So this is 8.1 is the sustained per capita economic growth in accordance with national circumstances and also global here. Okay, so at least 7% growth is that is what they have proposed, but India is something like almost it is under 7.5% growth GDP. Okay, so that is something, and 8.2 is achieve higher levels of economic productivity through diversification, technology upgrading, and innovation. Okay, so as I said, some new market we are trying to create in India, and for new standards. And earlier we were getting projects from outside, but we are trying to create our own market in the global aspect. So that is something which they are trying to uh, add in that discussion. And the third point is that promote development-oriented policies that support productive activities, decent job creation, entrepreneurship, creativity, and innovation. So there's also something which I discussed that a lot of new opportunities are being provided by the government. And only thing is that we have to uh, prove that we are capable of getting that project and getting it. And right projects will always be given an opportunity. Okay, and they have standards also state. So only that we have to meet the standards. It is not like something we will be. It is not like we will they will give us or not something like that. Okay, and yeah, one more thing I want to discuss is that the fourth point is that improve progressively. Okay, so that here one more point is that they all the sectors have to be included in uniform way. Okay, it is not just one sector grows and the other sector is left out. Okay, so that is something should not be there. Okay, and so in 2030, we are expecting to fulfill equal rights for all. We are trying to overcome the inequality in the gender, fair salary, and other working environment hierarchies. Okay, so the equal value is given for their work, and everybody is treated equally, and everybody is secured, and they contribute more to the operation global economic growth. Okay, that is something is there. So these are the points, and I think yeah, you can just have a look on that doc right now, which I'm showing, and 8.7, it shows about the take immediate and effective measures to eradicate forced labor. So that is which we have discussed. And here, one more point what comes is also that new geological problems, like from one country to other country, where the people move in as a from one country due to this war and other crises, where they are moving as refugees to the other country. Even that they are facing a problem that is not added here in this point, but that is something which we are facing it in the very recent years. Okay, especially after that Iran-Iraq war and Palestine war and this over Russia and this other Ukraine war. So all these wars have contributed a lot, and this kind of changes right now, which is happening right now. Okay, so that was not there at the time, but since if a person is moving out of a country, losing his wealth, everything, and even his business, his employment, and if he's moving to other country, the other country should create an opportunity for them, and they should provide equality in fair salary and other things. So equality, it's obviously for every mankind. It is irrespective of the geological location and irrespective of any situation. It should be. It is a major thing. So everybody should be given equal rights. But yeah, all the countries are trying to achieve it. Okay, irrespective of communities, irrespective of what country he belongs to, or whatever it is. So everybody is given an equal opportunity. That is the main one of the main goals of this main goals, as well as one of the main vision of this SDG 8. And so protecting labor rights across the globe. So that is also one of the point what we discussed. So particularly women migrants and those in precarious employments. So this is what migrant workers are. So if I pop in particular location to some other location for better living and other things, so even those are taken into under consideration. And there are some countries are trying to misuse the workers where they are paid very less when compared to the uh, localites. And so that is a growing problem across the globe. It is not in one country or two or states or something here and there. It is happening worldwide. Okay, so there is something they are trying to overcome. They have highlighted that this kind of issue will create a very longer, in a very longer run, it will create a kind of uh, uncertainty. Okay, uncertainty. It's a kind of insecurity, and that will indirectly impact the economic growth. Okay, and so that is all major points what we have to discuss on this. So getting to the next slide. Uh, okay. See, in global market, what they have achieved and other things, that is one part. And in India, I like to share you some of the points. Okay, how this SDG, how they are going to implement it in the next few years. Okay, how they and what they are working on it, how they are working on it, and what are the initiatives they have taken in the last 5 years. So I have collected some data from other reports and other things like Niti Aayog. So earlier, I think so that using that reports, I will share you some points, and we will be discussing on that right now. Okay, so here in India, okay, as I said earlier, a lot of skill development and other things are getting intact, especially after 2015, after this SDG 8. Okay, so here it is something like programs like Make in India, Startup India, Skill India, and Digital India have been underlining principle to create employment opportunities for the country's youth. Okay, so the government is trying to push a lot of entrepreneurs, okay, where they want to bring up in any sector it can be, whether it can be in hotel or management investments, or like delivery sectors like Zomato, Swiggy, like that. Even a lot of Indian companies are coming up in the market, and a lot of whatever the foreign brands what we had, we are getting some new entrepreneurs who are pitching in and developing it for truly from India. Okay, for the welfare of the globe. Okay, so that I think a lot of earlier we had Uber and Ola and Uber, but now we have local apps in each state. They have developed one local app, so that is creating a lot of growth opportunity. Okay, so and equality, yeah, equality in the decent work. So that is what it actually focuses. So each employee is paid what they really needed. Okay, and equal in environment is maintained, and equal salary is maintained in the environment. Okay, and to underline the goals of this uh, the SDG 8. Okay. So India was focusing on two things. One was urbanization and manufacturing. You would have heard of that smart cities plans and other things. Okay. So how that is going to help to create a sustainable communities in a city. Okay. And how it is going to increase a lot of a scope in manufacturing, like where a lot of industries are getting set up here. Okay, so there is also a need to understand that SDG or interlinked, both those things like decent work as well as economic growth. Okay, so that is something I have given you, and we will be discussing on the indicators as well. Okay, right now shortly, and so that is a major point here, and so that is fine. And yeah, this was the key points which I gathered. Okay, so India is currently growing at the rate of 7.5 per annum in GDP. So when I say GDP, I think most of you guys will be aware of the indicators of what is GDP is. Okay, so the per capita income and per capita, how many entrepreneurs we are getting into the market, how much sustainability projects we are doing it in India, which will run for a longer time, and how projects, sustainable projects are get into it without impacting a lot on environmental changes. So these things and all, they are focusing on more. So that overall growth of India is right now 7.5, and they're trying to push it to 9 to 10% every year by 2030. Okay, so that's something which is going on. And related to that, there was a recent a month before, there was a talk by our honorable Minister Jay Shankar as well. Okay, so Foreign Affairs Minister. So he is trying to contribute because of this tariff issues and other things what we are facing right now. So right now the things are going little uncertain. Things are little uncertain, but soon there will be a stability will be reached. Okay, and India is such a strong nation in whatever it is. India is such a strong nation. So it is one of the definitely one of the global team player. So no doubt about it. And and it is aiming to grow 9 to 10% that I told you. And, India's growth story, that service sectors is contributing somewhere 62% of the India's GDP. Okay, so here mainly most of this service sector is going to be occupied by AI. Okay, so artificial intelligence is going to play a key role in the upcoming 5 to 10 years. Okay, so what happens to the people who is contributing 62% of India's GDP? Almost half a population of educated people like engineering and other graduates or into this IT sectors. Okay, so how they are going to sustain it, and what is the new scope of openings coming up in the market? all will be discussed, and they are working on it, and government are implementing a lot of new projects, what it is going to be, how it is going to be. They're trying to pitch into the get into the future and try to bring a lot of things in the changes of university level. Okay, like new technologies, new groups, everything is getting into the getting into the place. Okay, and manufacturing sector is also an vital contributor in the economic growth. And right now it is contributing somewhere 27.6. It was a little high, but how we are going to capture the world market, it's going on. But yeah, soon that greener environment and other things I said, right? So India is focusing a lot on greener environment and this kind of new technologies. Okay, so I think a lot of India has some kind of strength. That is one of the India's strength. They have lithium, they have a lot of minerals in India, which is needed for the world growth, for greener environment and other things. Okay, so this is how roles of the government, what they are taking up. Okay, so they plan for uh, strategies and give sustainable growth initiatives, everything they are planning up. Okay, and investing on infrastructure and education. Education is not only about this schooling or colleges, but also skill level. Okay, even at the age of 40 or 45, if a woman wants to join some kind of certification course, the National Skill Development Council has given them a kind of training to them. Okay, they have open right. Okay, so in earlier days, like after 30 or 40 years of 30 years of age, there was a situation where they cannot continue education or something like that. But here, the India is trying to bring some other alternative studies for that. Okay, so that is there. And regulating, yeah, that is what new policies are regulated according to the new environment. Okay, so almost the labor laws and other things were being made in 1960s, and it has been refined in 1970s. But now they are completely changing it to the today's environment. Okay, so those days it was like industries or factories and a lot of labors, a lot of mission kind of work, and this kind of activities was there. Now it is a kind of digital world. So according to that, uh, digital security and other things, a lot of things the government is planning and they are bringing up on that. Okay, and the another one of the key factors is that for the economic growth is that it is providing assistance for entrepreneurs and small business. Okay, so anybody can open a business in India in 29 days, and their growth is monitored by the central government. Okay, so I don't know whether you have aware, there are a few designations like a GST inspectors who regularly inspect uh, about a business. Okay, so now they give a license by visiting the place and visiting the industries. Earlier it was not that much, and it was like it used to take some 45 days of time. But here in GST Council and after this new regional changes, what happened is the GST inspector will inspect the business from the local act. It is just an online process. So online, whatever you do from a nearest regional office, you will get a GST inspector, and he will be closely monitoring the growth of your company for uh, next every 3 months or 6 months. Okay, so that is something he will be following it. Okay, and in case if you're registered and if you're not going to do any business, they will ask you to recall the GST certifications and other things. Okay, so they doesn't want to keep dormant companies anymore. Okay, in India earlier there was a lot of dormant companies, so they have scrutinized and they have trying to uh, clear off that kind of aspects, right? Okay, and another, that is what I said, that GSE inspectors are monitoring the track progress and making necessary arrangements. Okay, and evaluating what kind of business it is and whether there is a lot scope of it. And based upon that, they will again try to make sure that in case if the business is going good, okay, they will give you some kind of special loans and special investment opportunities, or they might take it into a government sector, and they a lot of opportunities that they are bringing in right now. Okay, so that is these are the main roles of government right now. Okay, and so when it comes to employment, that is what the job creation, okay, income stability, skill development, entrepreneurship, economic resilience. So all these all plays a key role. Okay, and as I said, these are very important for an economic growth. Okay, through employment. Okay, and decent work objectives. That is what it is. What is a trending labor? It is going to be in the next 5 years. What kind of growth it is going to be, and how stable it is going to be. It is not like next 2 years or 3 years, this particular technology will occupy the market and then it will go off. So it is not like that. So there is some kind of sustainability they are trying to bring in right now. And yeah, scapegoating labor rights and enhancing productivity and ensuring equal access to decent work opportunities. So all these are one of the points, key points, which we have discussed a little bit earlier. And so youth employment in economic growth. So what is the contribution? So here is what I was telling you. Okay, so the skill development mainly. Okay, how they are going to give you this uh, bring up the rural people as well as the urban people without any inequalities. Okay, so irrespective, we might have a lot of colleges, a lot of schools, and a lot of other demographic places where the people have to lot of challenges are there in giving equal education. Okay, but India is trying to give a lot of opportunity, and whether whatever it is, so they want to promote skill development for ups and existing graduates. They are trying to upskill to the new technologies, and they are trying to create a good market. Okay, so trying to create a new entrepreneurship business, or the government is ready to support for it. And only thing, ideas. Okay, so ideas is something most valuable thing. Okay, so there is no end for an idea. Okay, so mankind has been evaluated from the Stone Age, and right now it is not just because of one set of ideas. It was like plenty of ideas, and that is what improved the mankind to this level. Okay, and tomorrow this AI, whatever the technology, artificial intelligence, and other things which is going to capture the market, it will even roll the earth faster. Okay, so like 10 years before we attained a growth in 10 years or 5 years, now we will be reaching that goal in 1 year of time. Okay, so when it goes on like that, we will be moving into most advanced sector of it. Okay, so nowadays, I don't know, most of you people would have seen 10, 20 years before how the bank operated. And now today, how a bank is operated. Okay, a person has to go to a bank where he's having a own branch account. Okay, but here now, even if you have a account in Karnataka, you can go and access the same account in Jammu Kashmir. Okay, so that kind of progress has been there. Okay, so they are trying to bring the globe to one particular sector here. Okay, and so these are the opportunities. And see, one more key factor, what they do is that this career counseling. Okay, now before joining those colleges itself, they have started this career counseling. Okay, so next 5 years, what is the technology going to be ruling the market? Okay, they are identifying it, and the engineers are given an opportunity where they can check on their uh, capabilities and areas of interest, and they will be given an opportunity. Okay, so if you have interest and if you have these kind of capabilities, you will very much suit into this. So you can go ahead and do this like that. On career counseling is there. Okay, so last 5 years or 10 years back, this kind of career counseling was not much. And government has initiated a lot of free sectors to give this career counseling. Okay, so that is something very positive sign for the new upcoming students and for the world market as well. Okay, and sustainable practices. That's what promoting green jobs that align with environmental sustainability goals. Okay, and how they are the employment. And one more factor here is see we were having a lot of massive computers and massive workspaces, and we were working in a very massive environment if you take some 5 years before, but now it is simplified. Okay, you can bring your own device for a company, okay, where you can use your mobile or your own laptop, and you can do multiple jobs in that. Okay, so even though if a company is giving you a computer or laptop certain years back, you were not given an opportunity where to do your even your personal emails cannot be checked, or some other activities cannot be checked. But the digital world, now everything got turning digital. They are trying to reduce the digital waste also. Okay, so they are trying to keep everything into a manageable levels. Okay, so manageable levels means so that it doesn't impact the environment in a higher strand. Okay, so that is something they are trying to promote here. Okay, and these are the workplace inclusion and entrepreneurship support. I think these are the key factors what we have discussed. Okay, and yeah, gender equality. So this is something I want to I was telling. So a women or men will be uh, employed equally, okay, in nowadays. Okay, so gender equality, everyday news and other articles that you may come across this kind of thing. Okay, so a woman is also given a loan and other things, even if she is not having any property or collateral or anything, just by doing an upskilling and proving her confidence that I can do this job, she can get a loan of some amount to do that job. Okay, to initiate that job, I will say. Okay, and if she's going good in that business, this same job will get to the next level as well. Okay, to higher level as well. And one more factor here is that the leadership. Okay, so most of the places here, the leadership in leadership areas also, a lot of people, ladies have contributed. Okay, so this is like a very fair play is going on nowadays. Okay, and even the government is urging it, and lot of lots and lots of laws and other things they have changed. Okay, so and lot of opportunities has been given for ladies in the working culture across the cities, most of the urban cities. It has been the safety of the women has been ensured, and they are making sure that everybody is working in the working environment with full secured, fully secured. Okay, and their salary and other parts or everything. There was like a lot of problems, labor issues and other things were there in the earlier stages. Most of them have been eradicated. Okay, now the salary is getting directly credited to their own bank accounts. There is no middleman in getting the salaries, so there is no kind of manager involvement or anything. So the work and place is different, and the accounts or the financing place is different. So in a particular how like in a country election body and how judicial body, how they are differentiated the same way, uh, in a company, all the sectors have, all the bodies, governing body and the implementation body, all has been in different levels. So they just have to do their work on their standards, and they just follow the rules and regulations which are in place. Okay, so once if you place the rules and regulations, then nothing they have to worry on that. Okay, so that is something is there. Okay, and this is the interconnections. Okay, So how an economic growth and decent work will be going on. So this is also mostly I have discussed that fair wages, safe working conditions, and social protection lead to more motivated, satisfied, and productive workforce. I hope you understand this line. This can increase overall economic performance and lead to a higher skilled workforce. Okay. And here, one more thing is that inclusive growth enables decent work. That is what improving labor standards and inclusive growth. It's always generates a lot of resources needed to create more decent job opportunities. Okay, so a lot of new job roles have came into market. You can just Google it up. So what are the job opportunities available a time before, and now what are the opportunities are available here? Okay, and breaking the cycle of poverty. Okay, so that is a key important aspect of any country for that matter. So poverty line has to be poverty is something to be abolished in our society. Okay, so equal opportunity and equal rights, and that is something our constitution says, and that is globally all the countries have accepted it also, and they are trying to uh, provide equal contribution. So the developing nations are trying to provide hand to the underdeveloped countries. So even the underdeveloped countries, a lot of have options also. Like earlier, it was one country have support to somebody due to that geographical location, but nowadays it's not like that. Even Sri Lanka is supported by China, and a lot of other countries like Ukraine is supported by US. So a lot of global changes have been happened. Okay, so India is recently signing up a lot of projects with Russia. So a lot of changes are coming up. Okay, so this all this will give us an added benefits for the economic growth. Okay, so we will be getting a lot of new businesses from these countries, and we are a friendly nation to all the countries in the world, and so a fair trade is going on. Okay, so in abolishing this poverty line. Okay, so that is a key factor of it, and that is main goal is to abolish the poverty. Okay, and social stability means the reduce labor conflicts, and so everybody there is no something like this person job was been given to that person, or uh, some earlier these kind of issues was rising up, like I was after 10 years you will be promoted as a manager. That was an unwritten law, but here nowadays it was not like that. So every instance they have to prove their capability, they have to prove their quality of work, and they will be equally treated. Okay, so irrespective of manager or other things, so they will be paid the salary and other things will be equal. Okay, so earlier I think a 10%, 10 years, if a person work, a couple of people are working in an organization, one person will be promoted as a manager and he will be given a hike, and the other person will not be given a hike. So, or the hike will be minimal for him. But nowadays, it is something like they are giving an equal opportunity, even though he might be promoted as a manager. Based on the quality of work, both of them will be giving a fair hike. Okay, so that is something they are doing it. Okay, and these are some of the words of how decent work drives the economic growth. And here is something like how economic growth is going to improve decent work. That's what it will increase the per capita income and expands the business. Okay, mainly it will give a lot of opportunity where government can invest in a lot of other sectors, like they themselves can build a manufacturing unit, they can initiate some kind of industrialization, they can promote some kind of, each area will be famous for some kind of raw materials. So all that uh, will be taken into consideration. Okay, and so that is a symbiotic connection between decent work and economic growth. And I hope all you guys will be aware of this kind of inclusiveness and sustainability of work environment. Okay, and so one more thing, just a minute. So these are some of the global challenges in implementing SDG. Okay, so this is like a systematic inequalities, the global crisis, what I discussed earlier. Okay, so these are some of the problems which are lingering around, and so geological problem, that is the war, which is we are facing every day today, and uncertainty in the world peace. So these are all are important key factors. Okay, so economic controversies. Okay, the tariffs. What is the issues which is going on between the developed nations and the underdeveloping nations? Okay, and a rapid growth in AI and emerging new trends in the employment structure. Okay, so new AI features, it is going to replace a lot of market, and conflicts between economic growth and environmental sustainability. So these are some of the problems of challenges we are facing it, and these were the initiatives. These are the factors which the other countries are trying to overcome. Okay, who are not involved. See, if two countries are fighting, it will automatically impact the other country's GDP as well. Okay, so they may be a suppliers or they may be a buyers. So it is a indirectly or directly we will be hit. Okay, if the global peace is not there. So this is the widespread some of the statistics which I have collected from the developed nations and these things. Okay, so where global workforce was informally employed, there was like informal workers. It is what the refugees or some other the person who is not uh, particularly qualified for the job has been given an opportunity to do that job. Okay, so that is something is there. Okay, and rising debt and financial instability. Yeah, that is something which every country is facing. I mean, the underdeveloped countries are facing. So they are huge amount of money has been collected, and some other countries investing in other countries. So these are some of the aspects are here. Okay, and labor market and social challenges. So these are the some of the points which I have discussed: youth and unemployment and gender inequality with the workplace, erosion of labor rights, lack of social protection, so inadequate skills and training. Okay, and environmental and technological challenges are. So this is something connected with the environment. Okay, so I think if you go through that Paris 2015 events and other things, you will know what all the environmental changes have been happened and how the world is facing a lot of actually when an climatical disaster happens, the country has to uh, invest more on rectification. Okay, so what happens is that the GDP, whatever they have contributed or whatever they have earned, they have to do it in the repair work itself. So, for example, you might be having you were individually you were running a family and you will be having a lot of commitments, and you would have increased a salary or some other things, but suddenly a climatical changes happens where you have to repair the house or some kind of a production you have to make to the house and your family. So these are all kind of scenarios. Okay, which is due to environmental. So environmental conscious is growing right now in all these sectors, and even most of the corporates in Bangalore have been given environmental related consciousness. Okay, so how there has to be, and even if you buy a laptop, you will know that you would have seen that green recommendations and other things from branded companies. So automatically within 3 minutes, the monitor will switch off, or these kind of things and all will be followed. So this is a part of that event. And geopolitical and institutional challenges. That is what we said. The politics, which is changing a lot in the which is creating a gap, I would say. Okay, the tensions and conflicts, and the supply chain is disrupted, whether it can be a bio or it can be a silo. The subject chain is distracted. That is something. And data and governance gap. Okay, insufficient investment and implementation. So many countries are lack a political will or financial capacity to undertake some of the reforms which was set by SDG 8. So here it is something like an because this is India has see, for example, if you compare two countries, one country is having a lot of universities and they can suddenly adapt to one new technology and new environment. But think of a country where it is a lack of universities or lack of schools and education medium. So they cannot suddenly, if India can adapt to an or if one country can adapt to a newer situation technology in 1 year, it will take at least 2 to 3 years for them to catch up. So at the time what happens is one more emerging technology will get into the place. Okay, so this is a kind of gap or risk which has been analyzed, and we are trying to eradicate from this. That's what uniformity they are trying to bring, but it will take some years. But yeah, that's why we are getting governance from developed countries, and we are a lot of projects and models have been proposed by SDG 8 to the developing countries or underdeveloped countries. Okay, so that is something, and growing population, that is also one of the threat, but making them as an effective way, like a skilled, and making them as an effective force to bring them into the market, that is a very key factor on this. Okay, and here one more point. So this was the recommendations, okay, a kind of conclusion, okay, by given by UN experts. Okay, so they want to prioritize the quality of job, rights, uniform rights, okay, and social protection and formalization the overall jobs, okay, how to create new jobs, all that they are trying to bring up a plan. Okay, so they are issuing some kind of guidance on that, and this one more point is that the creating expanding the social safety and nets to cover informal and vulnerable workers. Okay, so vulnerable workers is a term like who are already placed and the quality of work is not there. Okay, so you would have seen that in previous couple of decades, if you take in India, in government sector, sometimes if to move a file, it will take 40, 50 days. Okay, even though it is manual, but there was a lot of policies and other things was not followed up due to low employment or lack of employees due to lack of employees in a particular environment. But nowadays it has been increased a lot. Okay, so that has been, they're trying to give this advice for all the underdeveloped countries. Okay, and so it is giving a lot of debt and already collected debts, how they can manage, okay, how they can invest, and in what all the sectors we can invest to maintain that equality and sustain for the upcoming years. So that is something which even experts have advised of. And yeah, governing green and digital transition. Okay, creating policies that manage the disruptive impacts of new technologies while leveraging their potential and job creation and sustainable growth. Okay, so this was the conclusion of this decent work and uh, economic growth. And I think now you guys are open for questions if you have. Yes, over to you guys.
Uh, yes, sir. Arun, sir, just wait, sir. I will enable all the mic of the participants, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. And in case if the time is less also, you can just ping it in the chat, your queries. Okay. So I'll make sure that I'm sending it the response to you shortly. Okay. And thank you so much. And I appreciate all your uh, kind attention. And thank you so much for all your patience. Yeah. And together we go. grow, and it is something like we are sowing the seed today, and we are expecting the growth in our by next generations. So whatever it is, that is my humble advice. So everyone has to contribute effectively to the nation's growth. So everybody should have that responsibility, that everybody is a contribution. You might be thinking that you are working for one organization, but how effectively you are going to promote and quality of your work is going to reflect in the economic growth of our country. So that is something which is very important. Okay. Yeah, please.
Participants, any question regarding this session? You can unmute your mic. You can ask question. I have enabled your mic. You can unmute your mic and ask question. Arun sir, there is a question with the audience. How we can use AI in this field? Please suggest some research area for PhD.
Okay. Yes. Yes, Faisal, I got your question. And see, AI in this field is like already there. In every sector, if you take whatever the sector can be, automobile industries or whatever it is. So if see, in simple example, if I want to give you uh, this automobile industries, earlier if you're driving a car 10 years before, how much efforts you have to make. Okay, now the drivers efforts have been minimized. Okay, so because of all softwares and AIs automated, artificial intelligence or whatever they have made it in the automation work, so they have reduced the efforts on the driver. Okay, so that is something which they have that is one key point. Now, even if you have not noticed, for example, I was taking my car on the day, and a small kid, which was with the height of some 2 feet or 3 feet, she was crossing in front of my car. Okay, when I was parking it, when I was trying to get it from my parking lot in a mall. So what happened is that it was so just a 3 feet or something. I could not see from my windshield. But what happened is the sensors which was there started beeping. Okay. So think how intelligently they have promoted it. Okay. And it showed that some obstacle is there. Okay. Which that is a very big thing achievement, I would say, in automobile industry. Okay, so blind spots, mainly the blind spots of a driver has been reduced a lot. So similar way in artificial intelligence, now they are trying to see, you know, on statistics, I am not sure about the statistics in health environment. They are trying to replace a lot of like one doctor will be there and a lot of nurses or assistants will be there to help that surgery. Okay, so they are trying to replace it with a robot. Okay, where the factors like infection rate and other things are reduced because of that. Okay, so tomorrow surgery, if it is happening, even though it may be a major surgery, okay, so with one surgeon and with 5 6 robots, everything can be handled. Okay, so due to infection alone during the surgery, post surgery, and this kind of infection alone, there is some average amount, some considerable amount of people are losing life. Okay, so now they are bringing in that aspect as well. And if you take in the education part, okay, where a person, just a student can interact with a robo, okay, a robo or with artificial intelligence, okay, and I think most of you guys will be using a Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT. So all that, like in previous days, we used to run to the libraries, search for books, search for that particular topics. So that is also one of the wonderful ways. But now we get it even less than seconds. Okay, so I don't know how many of you have experienced that. When I was completing my school days and in my college days, we have to go to the library and we have to get printouts. We have to get the topics, everything related to that. So all this has been replaced by this kind of artificial intelligence nowadays. Okay, so anyway, to understand the student's mind and understand the student's capability, definitely there is definitely a need of lecturer. So lecturer's job or this thing cannot be replaced. Faculty's job cannot be replaced. So this forces indirectly to improve the quality of the staffs. Okay, so the faculties, they will have time to improve their skills. Okay, so if they are going on doing a lecturing job or something, uh, they may not get time to upskill themselves. Okay, so here, even to grow, even for them to upskill, a lot of AI materials have been in the market right now. Okay, so sitting in any part of the globe, you can get any certificate you want online. Okay, virtually, you can get it online. So this kind of advantages are there right now in these days of. Okay, and regards to the skill sets, I hope I answered that question earlier, what you asked. Okay, so in every sector, almost in every area, the AI, artificial intelligence, there is definitely a scope. Okay, daily you can think what all the activities you are doing. Okay, so how you can simplify it? If you sit and work, right? Think of it. Okay, now everything we have a machine in our home also. Okay, for example, every day you have a routine job like putting a motor, and in your house, putting a motor, and you need to check whether the auto is coming on time. You need to check. You might keep something on the cooking, and you have to focus on something like a washing machine, or you have to switch on the lights. All these activities, if you have an automation like just Alexa or Google, something, if you have it in your device, all this can be simplified. Okay, now a motor automatically, if you set a time, it will automatically run for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and from anywhere of the globe, you can control it. Okay, so these things and all is there right now. Benefits are there right now. And apart from that, yes, yes, Faisal.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, and regards to the skill sets of should faculties focus on preparing students for SDG 9 related careers? Okay, so here it is something like you can, there is a scope, but this now right now I will have to check on that. Okay, because you're asking a very precise question. Okay, so probably I will share you the details to Mr. Faisal. Okay,
Okay,
any
sir.
other question? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Armoli, sir. On behalf of K. Ramakrishna College of Engineering, Department of Artificial Intelligence, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. M.V. Armoli, for gracing us with his valuable time and inspiring words. Your insights and guidance have truly enriched this session, and we are deeply grateful for your presence with us today, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Faisal. Okay, thank you for your nice, kind words. Okay, I hope everybody got some kind of knowledge to carry ahead in their life today. Thank you all. Wish you all good in life. Yeah,
Uh, Sir, you can leave, sir.
yeah. Thank you, team. Thank you. Bye.
Participants, we have marked the attendance of yesterday's session. You can verify in your login, ATAL login. We have marked the yesterday session. You can verify in your login. If any queries, you can ask in WhatsApp group. Thank you, participant. We can meet tomorrow sharply at 6 o'clock. And also we have given 2 feedback links today. Please fill the 2 feedback links.